Hello and welcome to Decent Football. That was the worst performance of the season, and it's a terrible result. I knew this was going to be a very, very tough game, but for Christ's sake, every player was terrible. We played Eric. We're pushing higher, but then it's like every single one of them was terrible. Every single one of them was terrible. Touches, passes, everything was off. Everything was terrible. Everything was terrible. That beats Istanbul away. That beats Istanbul away. Honestly, going into the City game with a bad result feels so terrible and dejected. I blame the players, to be honest. I'm not really gonna go into the manager too much. I blame the players, because every single one of those players was terrible. Every single one of them. We missed Pogba in the midfield badly, and that midfield was just too slow. Fred, that was a really bad performance. Some fans, but he offers us energy, this and that. But his passing is terrible. All right, midfielders, yes, if it does offer you energy, yeah, that's cool. But if you can't pass, then you're a bench player, in my opinion, as a midfielder for Manchester United. But yeah, oh my goodness, I for some reason I was expecting us to be bad in the coming weeks, because our team seems so dejected. It seems tired. Marcus Rashford was, oh my goodness, every single touch, every single pass, everything was just awful. Everything was terrible. Crystal Palace could have won that game at the end. They could have won the game at the end, and you might say that they deserve it. But Dean Henderson, he's the only one who can come out and with his head held high. He's the only one who can come out with his head held high. He is the one that saved the points. He was the one that saved the points. He was my man of the match. How can your goalkeeper be your man of the match? Honestly, I thought Bailey might help us push higher, but the football, everything, the touches, the passes, everything was just awful. I don't know why we took off Cavani. We should not have taken off Cavani. No. All he needs to take off his favorites now. He needs to have some balls that take off his favorites, like Bruno or Rashford. Like, he needs to be taking them off, because why would you take off Cavani? Why? We need the goals. Who are they gonna coming from? But to be honest, we weren't even creating anything for the strikers. We didn't create nothing. We only played decent for 10 minutes in the first half. How is that? That is unacceptable. Solskjaer needs to be questioned, all right? He needs to be questioned. But in this game, I'm not going to really blame him too much, because every single player was just terrible. It was just terrible. Honestly, Solskjaer, what I can blame him on, he should have brought on McTominay earlier. All right? He should have brought on McTominay earlier. It honestly feels like every player seemed content with getting a draw. Why? This is Manchester United. We're supposed to be getting win. We're supposed to be going for the win against these lot. It's Crystal Palace. It's just Crystal Palace, that's all. Honestly, it seemed like nobody had the killer instinct. That's what it seemed to me. And now I know people are going to be, Bruno, this and that. Oh, my God. It's just, oh, my God. We miss Paul Pogba in the midfield. We miss Paul Pogba in the midfield. Look, don't misquote me. Paul Pogba, his agent said that there's 100% leaving. And you know what? If a player wants to leave, let him go. Okay, we've lost better players. But for God's sakes, all right, when you get the Paul Pogba that plays for France, you miss that player, all right? That's the player that we need in the midfield. Donny van de Beek should have came on. Matic for me did not do anything. All right, Matic did not do anything for me. All right, he did not do anything. He was not needed in that game. I don't think it was needed. What can Donny van de Beek? Honestly, how bad can Donny van de Beek do? What can he do bad? Honestly, at this moment in time, what can he do that's worse than the midfielders in the first half? What can he do that's worse? I need to know. I need to know. Because those midfielders was terrible. Terrible. Honestly. Everyone was terrible. And I mean everyone. Cavani went full ghost. But I'm not going to blame him because there was not enough service. There was not enough service in the box. This was probably Marcus Rashford's. This is Marcus Rashford's worst game. I mean, I know he has a lot of bad performances, but this is the pinnacle. This is honestly the pinnacle of bad performances. We go into the City game. Oh my goodness. I'm honestly scared right now because City could tear us apart. All right. I'm honestly scared right now because City could tear us apart. They could tear us a new one. All right? We're probably gonna lose the game against City. We're gonna lose the game, and we're gonna be 15 points off. And if we end up 15 points off at the end of the season, Solskjaer needs to be questioned. All right? He needs to be questioned. He needs to be questioned. I'm still gonna wait until May. I'm still gonna wait until May. All right? If you're Ole out, hey, look, you have your own opinion. Ole in, everyone has their own opinion, all right? Oh my goodness, that was just hard to watch, and it was so foggy that I couldn't see. It was so bad. That game was so bad. That was the worst game I have ever watched in my life. Honestly, that was the worst game I've ever watched in my life. It was foggy. The passes, everything, touches, everything was just awful. Everything was off. Marcus Rashford needed to get off for me. He needed to get off for Dan James. Dan James could not have done any worse. Even though there was no space, Dan James could not have done any worse than Marcus Rashford. Honestly, on that left-hand side, he could not have done any worse than Marcus Rashford. All right? His touches, everything was just awful. Everything. And then to make it worse, just running into players, running in and then ball going out and this and that. Oh my goodness. It was that bad. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm not really gonna talk too much for this game because that game was terrible and there's not really much to say. Honestly, the only thing that I could say is disgrace. It's a disgraceful performance from those players. It's a disgraceful performance from those players. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that's a very, very bad way to manage. All right, you cannot make substitutions at the 70th minute. You cannot do that. All right, you gotta start trusting your players more. Start taking more risks. All right, for God's sakes. If he doesn't take any more risks, then he's not the right manager for Manchester United. I'm sorry, he's not the right manager for Manchester United if he does not take any risks. I'm sorry, he's not. Okay, if he doesn't take any more risks, going in towards it, because right now he needs to take risks. Right now he needs to take risks. All right. Anyway, that's the video. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one.